Hola, from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat, late night. This is going to be a late night chat because I can't seem to come on earlier. Y'all, I tried. I tried to come on earlier, but it just don't work out that way for me. But happy Tuesday, y'all. You know, I had to make sure I had my sage, for when I came on, in case I had to light it up and, sage the room and keep it nice and woosah in my chat. I do have it. I had already done a pre-saging before I came on. Sage smells so good, y'all. Sage smells so good. And it gives you a nice smell when you put it throughout the house. Yeah, I had to do some saging here on YouTube today too. Yeah. Folks just don't want to be in a place of peace, it seems. On YouTube, there's so much shiznit going on in the world, man. So much going on in the world. And for me, when I come on here to give knowledge and to do it in my own kind of creative way. As you guys see, I'm starting to get more serious about the production of the show. I'm actually working on a real intro and outro for my vlogs. Trying to do the things that I need to do to, I guess, grow my channel. But today was an interesting day in the YouTube streets. And it was an interesting day in the real streets. So I'm going to deal with the real streets first because, it's so sad that even if you don't want to talk about politics, even if you want to try to stick your head in the sand, you can't do it with the current administration. He's doing such insane things, you guys. So the latest thing being done by 45 is, he didn't like what cybersecurity, within Homeland Security said about the election, basically saying that it was the securest election ever. Well, he thinks it's hogwash, and so he fired them. Fired the person of cybersecurity. So now we don't have a head of cybersecurity. Good job, 45. Hopefully he'll bring someone else in there. But you can't make things be the way you want them to be. I mean, 45. If you could find all this evidence that you say is out there, sir, I would stand 100% behind you. We are all respecting your right to due process going through the court system. But at this particular point, sir, it's ridiculous some of the things that you're doing. You fire everybody who doesn't agree with you on your way out. Oh, and then here's the kicker, guys. 45 has decided to bring all the troops home from the Afghanistan region, so that we will only have 2,500 people in each of the countries that we currently are in over there. That's a scary thought. Because anything can happen. another 9/11 can happen. And he's not giving any of the security information to the incoming president. Like, what the F are you doing, 45? What the F is he doing, y'all? This is so dumb. Our country looks so dumb. And the Republicans, I mean, what does this man have on you guys? Why are you publicly supporting him when he's absolutely wrong? His behavior is atrocious right now. But I told you guys that if he did not win, he was going to twerk his way out of the White House. He was going to show his ass. And that's exactly what he's doing. Showing his ass. It just infuriates me as an American, because he's not making America great again. What he has done is he has made America hate again. We hate again. We hate again. That's what he's on. Hey, 1SP. I almost got my hours, bro. I'm like, I have less than 200 hours to go to my 4,000 hours. So I am running my playlist. Other people are running my playlist, but I'm like running my playlist, running my videos 24 hours a day until I get to 4,000 hours. But I'm like at 38 something, somewhere in there. I'm grinding. Yeah, I'm working on it, dude. I would love, that would be something to be thankful for at Thanksgiving. If I've gotten all my hours to monetize. So now I'm trying to make sure that I'm prepared, you know, when I get there, making sure that, you know, I got everything all, you know, hopefully the way it should be on my channel. But this president is just such an embarrassment right now. And my issue is you have these evangelical Christians, 80% of the white, that is, that are following behind this man. You know, they voted for him. He's amoral. And he's really showing his behind right now. And, you know, I've been like doing some research and stuff. I've been looking at stuff, you know, because everyone's wondering, well, what's going to go on with Melania? Because really, she was just like a shadow throughout the 4 years. She didn't really do much. She wasn't like Michelle. She wasn't like any of the first ladies prior to her. I mean, Michelle was, I mean, nobody could be like Michelle. I mean, but, you know, this was a cushy ride for her for 4 years. And, you know, she'll be fine as a former first lady. I think she's probably happy that their life goes back to not being so much in the spotlight, because I don't think that woman particularly cared for being so much in the spotlight, but I don't know, because I've heard say that the reason we didn't see as much was because Ivanka, his daughter, usurped a lot of stuff because she wanted to be the one seen. the first daughter. So somebody needs to have a conversation with Mr. Trump. Someone who he's going to actually listen to needs to say something to him. The small YouTuber. Who is that? I didn't hear about that. There's a small YouTuber that wants to run for governor of California. I can tell you right now, the current governor is pissing a whole bunch of people off. He's pissing a whole bunch of people off. Especially those of us who, honor the Most High. It's ridiculous how he has treated houses of worship during this COVID. And I promise you, I will not forget that. Governor Newsom. Not going to forget that. And then he had the audacity. Governor Newsom had the audacity to go to some dinner party for someone in his governor's cabinet. He and then gets on there and apologizes. You know what? You're so full of crap. You need to allow churches, houses of worship to reopen and allow them to decide how they're going to do things. Nobody's going to be incompliant. No one's going to not do what they should be doing to keep the safety of their members. But he refuses to give any type of reasonable guidelines for churches, synagogues, and any other types of worship places to assemble. He is just crapping on God, in my opinion. And I'm so upset about that because this man came to my church begging for our votes when he was running for governor. So he's full of it. The Love Empire, I'm going to have to go check her out, 1SP. I'm going to go have to check her out. I found a few YouTubers that are in California that I follow and stuff. Obviously, most of them don't know me, but I follow them anyway. But I will definitely go find her and support her channel. Yeah, well, no one right now, nobody in the state of California right now is very happy with Gavin Newsom. Let me just say that. And I'm not saying that he's not doing his job, because people thought he was going to get into the governor's office and not do anything. We just don't like how he's handling things as far as the COVID situation, with the restrictions. I mean, because the state of California right now is almost on its knees economically. I mean, I thank God, I thank the Most High every day that I have a job, that I was already working from home. And I thank him that my salary has been restored, because I lost money at the beginning of this, but my money has been restored, and he's restored more than what I was making. And I'm up for a promotion back to my previous position, which will take me even further, so that I probably will be able to buy a house next year in the name of the Most High. Yes. You see what you're saying, one SP. I'll go and check her out. I mean, you know, I'm nonpartisan. So I'm not affiliated with any particular party. I'm affiliated with the Most High. But yeah, 80% of white evangelical Christians, even in this election, voted for this man again. You know, and he got many more votes than he got, you know, in the previous election. But Joe Biden still got more than him. And he got more electorals than him. He needs to face the fact that the American people have spoken. And he needs to respect what we're saying and stop trying to tell us that we didn't say what we said. This is what we said. This is what we're saying. We don't want U.S. president anymore. And my thing is that most people probably voted against him that may have voted for him before because of COVID. This man refused to take any type of responsibility as the leader of the country. Just refused. Just kept saying how great he was. You know? So I've also done some research. I also did some research into Kamala Harris. And, you know, and into her dad, because, you know, I wanted to know more about her father. So Donald Harris is her father, and he is a professor emeritus at Stanford in economics. He is Jamaican American. He is a naturalized citizen of this country. And I've seen pictures of him. I mean, he's fair-skinned. I mean, everyone's saying that he is half black, half white. That's what everyone's saying, is that he's biracial. He could be. You can't tell. I mean, he's definitely a fair-skinned man. But I can't tell. I mean, he doesn't look like your typical Jamaican, so he probably is biracial. But from what I can tell, he has done a lot to try to fix things as far as the economy in Jamaica, even though he has made America his home. Very intelligent man, raised his daughters to be proud of their Jamaican heritage. So I think that, you know, although we want to relegate Kamala Harris to being, you know, multiracial, because she's really only probably a quarter black. It appears that, you know, just based on her dad, and just based that she considers herself, I guess, half black, half Jamaican. And I don't even know if she counts the white part of her dad. Isn't that crazy, y'all? That's kind of crazy. Well, see, here's the thing. 1SP, what a lot of people are taking issue at is that they are calling her black when she's not actually black. She's multiracial. And that's where her father's ethnicity is coming into play, because he is Jamaican. And in Jamaica, they don't make the distinction of whether they have, something, but you do have a lot of people in Jamaica who are biracial. And I guess her father is one of them. So this would then technically make her only a quarter black and make her more Asian or Indian than black. And so, that's why people don't want, some people are taking offense with them referring to her as being black. And it's black people. You know how we are. But at the same time, in 2008, everybody embraced 44. And he's half Kenyan. His dad wasn't even American, naturalized or otherwise. So, he too was biracial. He's related to four other presidents, because he's related to the Bushes. So that's 2 presidents right there. He's also related to James Monroe and one other president. I just can't remember who it was. Obama is. They're all related, Everybody's related. I'm sure Kamala Harris wouldn't fall under that. Bill Clinton is not related. It's 3 American presidents that are not related to the rest of the presidents. Taft, McKinley, and Bill Clinton. Because Bill Clinton's real last name was not Clinton. It is Blythe. That's what his biological father's last name is. And that was his last name. He changed his name as a teenager. He was adopted by his stepfather and took his stepfather's last name. But people are making a big deal about it. 1SP. You know how they are here in the States about race. I mean, they don't care that, she is in a black sorority, but, the sorority, as I've stated, just like my sorority, the Divine Nine, we are diverse. We are not just black organizations. We are primarily black organizations. So her not having any black, she could have been all East Indian, and she could have still gotten into Alpha Kappa Alpha if she met the criteria. Because the criteria, you don't have to be black. That's not one of the mandates to be in the Greek letter organizations. But I found, just interesting looking at her dad. And then I also looked at some things in regards to her dating life. Shouts out to YouTuber Layla, because I follow her. And this I found on her channel that prior to Kamala Harris, being with her husband, who she, met after 50, or met at 50, she dated Montel Williams, the talk show host, way back in the day. She dated him. She also dated Willie Brown, the previous mayor of San Francisco. And it was Willie Brown who gave her first political appointment when he was mayor. So it appears that prior to getting with her husband, she dated black men. She just didn't marry a black man. But from what I understand, when she met her current husband, that after their first date, he texted her immediately and said, "I'm too old to play games. I really like you. Let's see if we can make this work." He even wanted her to meet his kids after they had only dated twice. And she put a halt to that because she was like, let's just first make sure we're working before we do that. But I guess they dated for about a year, and then they got engaged and they got married like within 4 months. And her sister performed their ceremony. Facts about Kamala Harris. Thought we might want to know some things about, Madam Vice Presidents to be. But I think that she just needs to be herself. She doesn't need to be in there trying to represent black people. I'm sure Indian Americans are probably wanting her to represent them. But I think she's probably going to be looking more out for women's issues. I would not be surprised if she's not. Things like, what is that amendment that's never gone through? The Equal Rights Amendment? That one? Yeah. Which would be nice for women. Because we know we don't get paid the same. No matter what they say. No matter what they say, they pay men more for the same job. For the same job. Yep, they do. They are non-black women in Delta Sigma Theta. Terry, one of the freedom writers, is a Delta, and she's white. She pledged at one of the HBCUs in Mississippi. Her name is Joan, and I can't think of her last name right now. She's still here. I think she's like in her, I guess she would be in her 70s. And she's still active in Delta Sigma Theta. But she's not the only white Delta. And she's not the only white Delta that came into Delta way back then. It was a couple of them. But yeah, there are a few. There are a few women who are not black. Hey Lola, sorry. Nightbot doesn't like Nightbot is twerking in my chat. Nightbot does not like emojis. Even though I keep programming Nightbot, and I'm decided that Nightbot obviously is a her. Because Nightbot does way too much twerking in the chat. Lola is singing in the chat. Oh my God. Well, y'all know what I said. Somebody needs to tell him to hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. You know? It makes me think of that song, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. That's what It needs to be 50 ways for him to leave the White House. There must be 50 ways to leave the White House. Y'all remember that song? Yeah. Yeah. Makes me think of that. I need to think of a way to lace some new lyrics to that. Give Mr. Trump a hint. We're gonna see what she's gonna do. I mean, from what I'm understanding, the interesting thing is that no one is publicly acknowledging. There are very few Republicans that are publicly acknowledging President-elect Biden because they scared. And I think it also too because they have these little runoffs that are coming up, and they're afraid that if Democrats takes those 2 seats, they will lose control. I think it will then take it to 50-50. Wouldn't that be nice? 50-50. You know, and then that would make Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will be the deciding vote because she will be the president of the Senate. So when she came back, she's getting a welcome from the senators because they all are playing nice with her, but nobody's playing nice with President-elect Biden. I don't know if that's smart for them, but they're playing nice with Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe she'll be able to bridge some gaps. Maybe she gets along with a lot of these Republican senators. So maybe she'll be able to do that. We shall see. Do y'all know that Kevin Hart has a new Netflix? I'm going to watch it after I get off of here with you guys, and I'll let y'all know about it tomorrow. But he did it during COVID, and he recorded it in his house. Okay, in his house. So y'all know how Dave Chappelle, my favorite comic, is doing the shows in the town that he lives in out in the field. They were started for us. But we never were separatists in our organizations. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? The criteria obviously is you had to go to college, but the freedom rider, why wouldn't we want a freedom rider? Because her beliefs were about our beliefs, She was about social justice for Black people. So if someone who is not Black is part of our organization, they're in our organization because they're doing things towards the goals that we have, which are for Black women. Like I said, it's not that many that are part of our organization, but yeah. Sarah Jones is one of them. And she's one of the most famous freedom riders. She got arrested and everything. And she was one of them little white kids that came up, that went down to the South from the North, and she never left. She went when it was all said and done. She ended up going to school in the South and ended up at a HBCU. I think she went to Jackson State and ended up pledging a Black Greek letter organization. You know, but there's not, I mean, you've got a few, I mean, just, there's a few, like when I was at USC, because, you know, the white Panhellenic, they don't do things the same way as we did. So there were a few people that did join some of the white Greek letter organizations and everything, but they are only a college experience. See, our experience is a lifetime connection, which is the difference between us and them. That's the reason why, you know, like the white Greek letter organizations, I guess, and all the other ethnicity Greek letter organizations are a college experience. No, if you didn't pledge in college, then you don't ever become parts of those organizations. But that's not the same thing with ours. With ours, after college, you can still become a member of a graduate chapter. And many people do that. Some people, because the schools that they went to didn't have the Greek letter organizations on campus, you know, or they couldn't afford to do it when they were in college, because there is money involved, you know, and, you know, it's more money now than it was then, than it was when I became a member, but it's not cheap to join the organization, and then you have to pay the annual dues, which vary depending on what chapter you belong to. You know, same as with the you know, but in the graduate chapters, you know, national, you have to pay national, and then chapter dues. A lot of times the chapter dues are like a couple $100 for the year, based on whatever the chapter has that they're going to get. Like, I belong to one graduate chapter that started a 501(c)(3) back in the 90s, and they've had it for years. I contributed to it. I'm no longer part of that particular chapter, but, you know, the way we did it is that if we left the chapter, you know, we were doing it on behalf of that particular chapter. Now I'm getting ready to go into another chapter who also has their own, so, you know, I may contribute to this one as well. Hey, Miss Pamela. But yeah, Kevin Hart has a new show called Zero F's Given. It's his new comedy special on Netflix, 2020 COVID-19 style. And he did it in his home. I'm gonna watch it when we finish. When I finish the live, I do know that he does talk about his experience with COVID-19, you know, because I don't think we knew did y'all know that Kevin Hart got COVID? Did y'all know he got it? He apparently had it at the same time that Tom Hanks had it. So he talks about it in this particular Netflix special. And, you know, his whole experience with it. But he says he didn't say anything about it because he says Tom Hanks is a much bigger star than him, and if he'd have said he had it, his announcement would have gotten all swallowed up by Tom Hanks. And when he got it, it wasn't cool to get COVID. But I'm like, didn't Idris also have it back then too? Didn't Idris Elba have it back then? Yeah. I wouldn't have gone against Idris either. Tom and Idris, that's kind of hard. But apparently he got it at the beginning. So he's doing this comedy special at his house. I don't know if it's in his living room or if it's in his basement, but it's a huge room. And everybody's is all masked up that's in the audience. Just like, when you see the Dave Chappelle ones, they all masked up. I think that's going to be the wave of the future for when we see things. There'll be a limited amount of people at events, and then they'll have to tape it for the masses to see. Because right now, none of them are able to go touring and stuff. DL tried, and then what happened? He ended up with COVID. Ended up with the COVID. Yeah. I think, well, y'all know Kevin's funny. Kevin is funny. I mean, they're all funny. I mean, but I can't wait for the next one from Dave. Every time Dave puts out something, I'm ready for it. But I can't wait for him to put out his next one, because now he'll be putting out one. He's probably going to, he'll have one like right after Mr. Biden gets into office. It's, how many of us really thought that Biden wasn't going to pull this off? That somehow he was not going to get enough electoral, or he was not going to have a substantial amount of votes higher than Mr. Trump. I'm not afraid. I'll raise my hand. I didn't know if I could count on people to really get out there and vote. Y'all were scaring me, But so many more people voted than had voted ever before. For the first time, really. And finally, people understand that their daggone votes actually do count. Your vote counts. Your vote counts, y'all. My vote counted. My son's vote counted. My dude's vote counted. Y'all's votes counted. Even if you voted for Trump, your vote counted. Everybody's vote counted. He just didn't get as many votes as he wanted, and now he wants to discount votes that were against him. Sorry, sir, you can't do that. They're legitimate votes. Your own people said it, so you got mad. Now you fired the guy. I don't know. I don't know if Mr. Biden would have kept your people in place. Probably not. He probably was going to bring his own in. But why would you do that when we are in such a vulnerable point? With you doing all this conflict makes us look weak to the rest of the world. You're pulling troops out of the Middle East so that there's only going to be 5,000 left. 5,000. That's all he's leaving out there. I'll let that marinate. 2,500 in 2 countries. Yep. That's what the Pentagon said today. Pulling them out. Wants them out before he's out of office. I told you guys that this man was going to twerk his way out of office. Did I not tell y'all that? I told you that. I said if he don't win, just be ready. He is going to act a fool. And he is not disappointed on the acting a fool at all. But I thought at least he would cooperate with transitioning. I thought at least he would do that. But no. He wants to force himself on us. You can't do that, Mr. Trump. You can't force us to have you. I feel like I was forced to deal with you for 4 years. And I personally just don't want to deal with you for 4 more. Is that so hard? No. You know, I'm honestly praying that 4 years from now, you'll come to your freaking senses and realize that at that point, man, I'm way too old for this. You know, what you should be doing right now is that if you really need to have a Trump in the office, in the White House, prep that silly son of yours. You know, let him try to do it. Or does your daughter want to do that too? Does Ivanka want to be the one to run next? Because, dude, you're going to be almost 80 years old. We're not trying to do that. Told y'all, Joe needs to be the last old president. Y'all think I'm joking, but I am oh so serious. Hey, Stefan! I'm oh so serious. We do not need another old ass president. He's already going to be the oldest. He's going to be the oldest. Whereas Obama was one of the youngest. He wasn't the youngest, but he was one of the younger ones. Because wasn't Obama under 50 when he became president? I think he was, because I was too. I was still in my 40s. Yes, he wasn't 50 yet because he didn't turn 50 until 2011. He was 48. See, 40s is a good age for someone going into the presidency. You are young enough, but not too young. Because the presidency ages you. That's why we don't need no old men in there. Or old women. Let me not discriminate. We don't need old people in there. Y'all, so when Joe gets in here, you know, my hope, this is my hope, is that he's doing this for one term. He's not trying to be the president again when he's what, 80, whatever he gonna be. 80, however he gonna be at the time, 4 years from now. He's going to be over 80. I think it'll be 81. No. But he probably will try to run again. You know. Or maybe he's prepping Kamala. But you see, by that point, she will be 60. I don't know. That's still kind of old to me. You know, I'm really one for presidents leaders of the country being under the age of 60. I'm not trying to discriminate, but you see what all these old people are doing to us. And I know one day I'm going to be one of these old people, but I'm not there yet. I hope he doesn't try to do 2 terms, Stefan. Oh God. I think his whole purpose of running was to get Trump out. That's what he was here to do. He was here to get Trump out. Because here's the reality. In 4 years, it'll be less likely for Mr. Trump to be able to represent the Republican Party. A lot of things can happen between now and then. Hopefully, they will do some self-reflection and think about how they actually want to be seen. And I pray that the Democratic Party does the same thing. We tired of what y'all doing, both of y'all. It's divisive and it's not working. And we're also tired of both of y'all giving empty promises to the 13%ers. We don't want to hear those empty promises no more. From either party. From either one. We don't want to hear. That's why we keep jumping out of the parties. That's why we keep going to being nonpartisan. And it's not just us. Other people are sick of the divisiveness between the Republican and the Democratic Party. We are not the Bloods and the Crips. That is not who our country is. But y'all making it like it is. He has done himself a major disservice. The things that he is doing right now will put a very, very bitter and nasty taste in people's mouth about when he left office. He's a sore loser. And I don't know, maybe he thinks if he keeps saying that he won, he can reverse it and make it so. But dude, you've lost in all the states that you needed. Every single one of them. And like I said before, shame on Mr. Biden if he couldn't even win his home state of Pennsylvania and steal it from Mr. Trump. Well, steal it back, really. Steal it back, really. Because Pennsylvania, until 4 years ago, did not vote Republican. They didn't. Go on, you can take your melatonin. Y'all, I'm so proud of my son. Y'all know the struggles we have about the melatonin. But he has gotten to the point now where I don't even have to ask him about it. He just goes and gets the bottle of melatonin and gets his own melatonin out when he needs it. I'm so proud of him on that, y'all. I just had to intervene and be a proud autism mom. Just of my adult son with having an independent skill. And he's taking them safely. He's not, gobbling a whole bunch of them back, even though melatonin is not going to hurt him. But still, he's doing it. He's only taking 2 like he's supposed to. History is not going to look kindly on Mr. Trump at all. The ugliness that he is portraying at the end of his administration is totally atrocious. Totally atrocious behavior for someone who holds the highest office in the country. You know, I'm sorry, Mr. Trump, but you have a boss too. I guess you didn't realize that we, the American people, are actually your freaking boss. And we have just decided that you are fired. I guess he's used to doing all the firing, so he's doing a lot of firing right now. You know, since he's got fired, he's gonna fire everybody else. That's what he's doing. I think Joe Biden is a decent guy. I think what a lot of people are hoping is that if nothing else, Joe Biden comes in here and he can repair some of the divisiveness in our country. That's what we hope, because it's racial and it's political. You know, and I'm sorry, but Black people are 13%. We are 13%. There's no way we will ever be the majority in this country. You know, the few of us who can get included in the majority is just because we are also Latino. Because Latinos are going to be the majority in this country, like it or not. Some of them may be Black, but most of them will be brown. Or, you know, because if they're not Black, they consider themselves white, you know. But that's another story. That's a whole nother story, you know. And we are at about an hour right now, so I am not even going to go into, you know, how Hispanics don't consider themselves, how they consider themselves being white. We'll go into that at another time. Has something to do with that, you know, that Spanish part of them. But let me mute that. 1 second, y'all. That was scary. My TV just turned itself on, y'all. The TV turned itself on. Freaked me out. I had to find the remote. All right, I'm gonna come on camera now. That freaked me out. I'm like, what the hell? Hey guys, come on, son. Come on, he's coming over, y'all. Say hi. Yeah, he pulled on a shirt because he was shirtless again, and he almost didn't come on camera. Say hi.
Say hi.
Okay. I see you.
I see you.
All right, you guys, that was weird. The TV turned itself on. Y'all know what these smart TVs. And you know, I have to have it hooked up to the internet in order to stream. You know what? I need to figure out where, if there's like a camera somewhere on it, because like, except for when I'm on with you guys, I have this covered up. Except for when I'm on, the camera on my computer is covered up. The camera on my work computer is covered up. All of the cameras in here are covered up, except for when they're in use, because I don't trust anybody. I don't trust them. I don't trust them, y'all. Shoot, my phone camera, even on my phone, even the one on my phone, y'all see, it's covered up. There it is, but it's always covered up. It's always covered up. Anyway, I will see you guys. I will be back on tomorrow. You got to be smart. Exactly. You have to. They're listening to everything, y'all. Y'all know that, right? Listening to everything. Because we all got smartphones. Do we ever turn our phones off? Do we ever? Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. It's hot. See my fan? It's hot over here, yes. Yes, it's purple and it's feathers. Fanning myself first before I get off of here. Let me just fan myself. Let me fan myself for a minute, y'all. I'm having a personal summer for a moment. All right, I'm going to put that down. All right, you guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. Until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. Y'all see, I got my sage. I didn't have to sage because this was such a nice vibe. It's a nice vibe in this space. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Peace.